Hello dear readers and subscribers. Figurative painting is alive and well in the 21st century. Living icons of figurative painting are continuing to work, whereas simultaneously new talent, an abundance of new talent, is knocking on the door to take over their throne. However, who are the most important or the most pertinent figurative painters in today's art world? Let's find out. As always, for our top list we have used the Artifacts algorithm, the home of the artist ranking, using objective data and career facts to measure and thus rank the pertinence of artists in the art world. By doing so without imposing any subjective opinions or personal preferences, we are able to create a reasoned ontology of the very best and most influential artists of today. Yet 3 questions did require some further curation. What is figurative? What is a painter, and also what is today? By doing so, we have excluded some artists who are not figurative enough but do include some figurative elements, for instance Rashid Johnson or Yaya Kusama, and simultaneously other artists who are also occupied with painting but are predominantly known for their multidisciplinary practice were also excluded. For instance, Tracy Emin, who has been creating terrific figurative paintings lately, or what about, for instance, William Kentridge, who predominantly works on paper and in printmaking. And to conclude, some artists, some icons of figurative painting are still alive today but are no longer creating figurative works, and as a result we have opted to exclude true greats such as Gerhard Richter or, for instance, David Hockney, who are no longer producing new works. That being said, it is time to discover the top 10 most important figurative painters today. Our top list are made possible with the support of Squarespace, the #1 website builder for artists, which was the result of our independent survey. I will include a link in the description to Squarespace and also our contemporary 10% promo code alongside a completely free tutorial on how to create an artist website. That being said, it is time to discover our very first artists. In 10th position we have Kehinde Wiley. Born in 1977 in Los Angeles, California, and residing and working between New York, Beijing and Dakar, Kehinde Wiley has established himself as a modern successor within the tradition of portrait painting, aligning with historical figures such as Reynolds, Titian and Ingres. Wiley is known for his vivid portrayal of urban black and brown men from around the world, utilizing the classical visual rhetoric typically associated with heroism, power and majesty. Wiley's approach integrates the grandeur and aesthetics of historical opulence and prestige with subjects from contemporary urban settings. His portraits, often larger than life, challenge traditional tropes by merging historical and contemporary elements and addressing the representation of masculinity and racial identity. Up next we have Mickalene Thomas. Born in 1971 in Camden, New Jersey and based in Brooklyn, New York, Mickalene Thomas is an influential contemporary painter. Her art engages deeply with art history and popular culture to present a modern vision of female sexuality, beauty and power. Her work reclaims agency for women, positioning them not just as subjects of desire but as empowered figures. Her settings and the use of patterns often nod to the 1960s to 1980s periods, marked by civil rights movements and the assertion of black beauty and feminist redefinitions of traditional beauty standards, especially among African American women. In 8th place we have Kerry James Marshall. Kerry James Marshall, born in 1955 in Birmingham, Alabama, and currently residing in Chicago, critically examines Western art history from the Renaissance through to 20th century American abstraction, inserting and emphasizing themes and representations traditionally excluded from the artistic canon. Marshall's paintings notably center on black figures, addressing what he describes as the lack in the image bank and thus reshaping the narrative landscape of art. Art critic Carol Dunham has highlighted Marshall's unique ability to weave together beauty, complexity, didacticism and formalism in his work, a feat unmatched by his contemporaries. Up next we have Nicole Eisenman. Nicole Eisenman, born in 1965 in Verdun, France, based in Brooklyn, New York, is celebrated as one of the foremost figurative painters active today. Her multifaceted artistic output includes prints, paintings, drawings and mixed media work, but all characterized by a poignant blend of tenderness and dark humor. Eisenman infuses her work with vivid, emotionally charged cartoonish figures that represent a mix of self-portraits, friends, and also fictional characters. Her art is distinguished by dynamic painterly strokes and vibrant colors, which frequently explore notions of community and queer love. In sixth spot, we have Marlene Dumas. Born in 1953 in Cape Town, South Africa, Marlene Dumas has established herself as one of the most pivotal painters in contemporary art. Since relocating to Amsterdam in 1976, she has engaged deeply with themes of identity and representation. Dumas' paintings and drawings, characterized by their gestural and often spectral quality, primarily focus on the human form, sourced from an extensive archive that includes art historical references, mass media, and personal photographs of friends and family. Her work invites viewers to consider the fluid boundaries between public and private personas. In fifth position, we have Miriam Cahn. Born in 1949 in Basel, Switzerland, working and residing in Stampa, Switzerland. During the 80s, she became known for her expansive, richly dark drawings that often featured motifs such as warship, televisions, and fighter jets. Imagery typically associated with male-dominated fields. Yet upon reaching the age of 50, Cahn made a significant shift in her artistic practice by moving away from the monumental drawings that had defined her early career to embrace an intuitive approach to painting. Kahn's adept use of color serves to accentuate specific aspects of her figures, such as breasts, lips, or eyes, thereby highlighting their fragility and vitality and imbuing them with a palpable inner life. Up next, we have Leiko Ikemura. Born in 1951 in Tsu, in Japan, residing and working between Berlin and Cologne, Germany. Leiko Ikemura is a Japanese-Swiss artist known for her profound synthesis of Eastern and Western artistic traditions. Ikemura explores a variety of themes such as hybridity, cross-cultural dynamics, sexuality, and the life cycle through her work. Her art gracefully embraces both abstraction and figuration, employing a range of media to express raw energy and deep emotion. In her pieces, Ikemura often blurs the boundaries between species and the internal and external worlds. The materials she chooses, such as bronze, clay, and pigment, are deeply connected to the earth, reinforcing her thematic focus on the intrinsic link between humans and nature. We enter the podium with Anselm Kiefer, one of three living icons making the top three. Anselm Kiefer, born in 1945 in Donaueschingen, Germany, lives and works in Barjac, Croazy, and Paris, France. Kiefer examines a vast array of cultural, literary, and philosophical themes, including references to Old and New Testaments, Kabbalah mysticism, Norse mythology, Wagner's Ring Cycle, in his diverse painterly practice. Kiefer's artworks serve as a visual exploration of collective memory, particularly reflecting on Germany's post-World War II identity and the national mythology of the Third Reich. His materials, ranging from lead and concrete to textiles and tree roots, are symbolically charged, contributing to the thematic depth of his work, encompassing life, death, the cosmos, and the intersections of the sacred and the profound. In second position, we have Alex Katz. Alex Katz, born in 1927 in Brooklyn, New York, where the artist continues to reside and work, has been one of the world's leading figurative painters for almost 7 decades now. He maintains active and pertinence in today's art scene, exemplified by his most recent exhibitions. Katz's art is deeply entrenched in mid-century American culture, drawing inspiration from television, film, and advertising. He's recognized as a master of modern life, known for his distinctive portraits and landscapes that feature a signature flatness and economy of line. The stylistic hallmarks of his work include a flattening of forms, simplification of details, and a direct alla prima application of paint. In top spots, we have Georg Baselitz. Georg Baselitz, born in 1938 in Deutsch Baselitz, Saxony, Germany, lives and works at Les Commerces. He is another living icon of contemporary figurative painting, recently completing new work for the blockbuster exhibitions at the mega galleries White Cube and today's Europac. Since 1969, Baselitz has been known for his revolutionary practice of painting his compositions upside down, a method he describes as a means to dissociate form from content, oscillating between abstraction and figuration. This technique marked a departure from what was considered a stagnant artistic medium at the time. His work, deeply impacted by the trauma and aftermath of the Second World War, reflects a distinctive artistic vocabulary that draws from historical influences while maintaining a unique and individualistic style. A top 10 dominated by the usual suspects when it comes to the most famous figures in painting today. However, feel free to also discover the complete top 20, including other artists ranked between 10 and 20, such as Michael Armitage, Cicely Brown or Luc Tuymans. Some major omissions, in my opinion, that would always be included in my top 10 are Neo Rauch, Michael Boremans, and also Peter Doig. So feel free to share your top 10 or your favorite contemporary figurative painters of today in the comment section below, and I look forward to chat with you soon. Thank you so much for tuning in today. Feel free to watch our top list of the 10 best abstract painters today next. Support us on Patreon and please consider subscribing to stay posted for more contemporary art. Bye.